Demo, not for broadcast. Property of WABC New York.
If you're thinking about changing schools, why wait? At Manhattan University, love those guys. You don't have to start over. With transfer-friendly pathways, your credits count, and you keep moving forward. From day one, you're part of Jasper Nation, preparing for the real world. And with New York City just a train away, opportunity is everywhere. Ready to move forward without missing a step? Visit manhattan.edu/transfer and enroll today. Manhattan University. Don't start over, move forward. Listen, all you New Yorkers. Excuse me, taxi.
Okay, man, we're looking around.
This is the 77 WABC minicast.
Well, New York City, what is the budget? Who is telling us the truth? Is it the mayor? Is it the former mayor? Or is it the governor? With us today is Andrew Rein, and he's the president of the Citizens Budget Commission. That's an independent organization that tells, I guess, the citizens of the city of New York the truth. Well, Andrew, there's a lot of controversy. Tell us what's going on.
So what we are hearing, first from the controller and then validated from his opinion from the mayor, is the city faces a substantial budget gap next year. Now, we estimate that budget gap as up to $8 billion. The mayor has said over 2 years, it's $12 billion. He has said that revenues are strong and he's going to come back with a refined estimate. So we're a little apart now. Maybe he'll come down a bit. But the reality is, no matter how you slice that number, the gap will not magically disappear. This isn't like, oh, revenues are gangbusters, see, we have no problem. They are very strong, but we still have a problem. And it is a problem that the administration is going to have to take deliberate action to close it. And the question is, what actions will the administration take and how will it affect New Yorkers and New York today and in the future?
Understood. Now, the question is, we had former First Deputy Mayor Randy Mastro on, and he says the $2 billion gap that exists right now, that there's enough money in reserves to take care of it, and nobody should panic. What say you?
Here's the thing. That $2 billion gap this year, I'm hoping that the revenues are strong enough and there's some slow spending that it goes away that way. I will tell you, yes, there is money in reserves that could be used to cover it, but we need to save those reserves for a recession. The business cycle is still a factor of our economy as it has been for the last century. And if we deplete our recessionary reserves, we hit a wall in the economy at some point in time, and I can't tell you when, and we won't have anything to protect New York. We need to protect those reserves. So this year, though, I think that projected budget gap will probably be lower or go away because revenues are going to be stronger and we have a lot of vacancies, so there's underspending. But here's what we've also heard from Mayor Mamdani is he has said that the gap is the fault of the prior administration and then squeezing from Albany over time. Here's what we have seen is the prior administration radically under-budgeted for expected spending, meaning we have a housing voucher program that will cost us $1.4 billion this year, yet when the budget was adopted, they only put in $600 million. That basically hid the magnitude of the problem. That is a problem. That is wrong. That is not the cause of the problem. That hides the problem, but it's not the cause. The cause of the budget problem we're facing today, it's self-inflicted, it's not economically driven, and the mayor's talked about that. But the cause is that the prior administration and the administration before layered on new programs, expanded programs, but did not have the political will to shrink or eliminate other programs that don't actually improve the lives of New Yorkers. And if they had done that, these new programs, and some of them are good, but they would have been affordable. But if you just keep layering on without shrinking outdated programs that aren't helping New Yorkers, you end up spending more than you have, and eventually you hit a fiscal wall, and that's the wall we're hitting now.
Now, I'll tell you one other thing. I understand some of the people around us, and WABC has a lot of qualified people that are with us, that there was 270,000 or 275,000 employees in the city. And all of a sudden, it went to 300,000 at some point. And that these other 25,000, 30,000 people are maybe political appointees or whatever, and they're really not needed. Do you have any pulse on that situation?
So here is, again, because we're here at ABC, the facts about the city workforce. We have seen over a long period of time, multiple administration, that when the economy goes down, the workforce shrinks, generally through attrition, but they don't rehire people. And at the Great Recession, the workforce shrank from 311,000, I'm talking full-time and full-time equivalent. It shrank and then built up at the end of 2019 to 327,000 people. We are now in the, and I haven't checked the latest date, around the 306,000. That's full-time and part-timers equivalent. We're now at the 306,000. We should be able to run government well with this amount of workers, and maybe less if it's managed well. There are places, however, though right now that actually should be hiring some people because, for example, if you need a building permit, if you need a zoning change and you want to develop housing, which we need, we don't want that to be slowed down because of vacancies at Housing Preservation and Development or the Department of City Planning. But still, the key really is to get the managerial prowess and to get the efficiencies in government so that we can have a lower cost but higher performing government. And that serious exercise needs to be taken. And frankly, yesterday, the mayor signed an executive order saying that there should be a savings officer in each agency to look at these efficiencies, get rid of what doesn't work. And I think that is a promising step. I wish it would have come earlier, but we need to hold his feet to the fire to do this because no one has had the political will to say, this isn't working, let's stop it.
Understood. So, to keep it in simple language so our average listener can understand it, it should be about 300,000 employees, and we're just about there. I mean, what does it cost per 1,000 employees?
Each employee, and I'd have to look at with their benefits, costs I think a little over $100,000 now, but I'd have to look at it. Because it's not the salaries that are high. Frankly, some of them are challenged to recruit people, but we have benefits for certain employees that are high. But really, it's about using the employees to the best of their ability. We have outmoded technology, redundant processes where we approve a budget for an agency and approve a headcount for an agency, and then they go to hire a person and they have to approve it again. We have these redundant processes that cost us time and money. So that's where we have to go. So on the headcount stuff, what we need is better management and allocation of people. And frankly, that's where we're a union town. We have to work with the unions and figure out how to improve job titles, work processes. And sometimes we've gain shared. If the city can save money, use some of that money to help give raises to workers, but we can have a smaller, higher performing government, which is the win-win for all New Yorkers.
Now, Andrew, I'm in the real estate business in New York, and I'm scratching my head if I should continue because we're limited to building 99 apartments. Otherwise, the numbers go crazy. That doesn't work.
We have a severe housing shortage, as you know better than I, because of underdevelopment for the last 15 or plus years. There's been some progress. City of Yes and the city did well. Some of the reforms at the state in 485X, some other reforms did well. 485X, which is what you're talking about, which is an incentive program. And you have to balance. If you're going to develop, if you have affordability requirements and labor requirements in certain parts of the city, if they don't balance out, we're not going to develop housing. So one of the failures of 485X was not balancing those incentives right or those requirements right, and suddenly everyone's building 99 unit buildings in certain parts of the city because they can't, because as soon as you go to 100 you're going to increase your cost so much it's not worth it. That is a law that should be modified, changed, modernized, because we need to build housing. Everyone knows it, and suddenly we're going to have the world's leading number of 99 unit buildings.
Now, what we're planning on doing is maybe not building at all because I don't want to waste the property and for 99 apartments and hope that the law will change in the near future.
Yeah, no, you're exactly right. And the challenge, as you know well, is once it was tough to get to the deal. Once the deal is made, everyone kind of wants to walk away for a few years. It would be much better if they came back and revisited and changed that. But I will say this: the governor has proposed, and it sounds arcane, but has proposed to take a scalpel to the state's environmental review laws to make sure that it is easier to build certain housing in certain places. That's actually a smart reform that I hope gets negotiated through, because that will help. It doesn't solve the 99 unit problem, but it will help speed other projects that we need. So there is efforts, and I hope that everyone gets on what's called SECRA, State Environmental Quality Review Act. Hopefully we can get that reform through. So the governor did do that, but again, you're right. What is called 485X should be reformed to modify those requirements, or else we're not building as much housing as we can or we need.
Jay, and we only have 30 seconds left, I'm going to be building in Florida because I don't have those kind of stupid decisions, and people are exiting to Florida.
Listen, you're exactly right. We need to make it effective, and that's also why we.
And I love New York, by the way.
I know you've always been dedicated, but we need to hold the line on taxes here. We're spending enough money. We need to spend it smart. We need to hold the line on taxes because New York State and localities, are the highest taxers in the country. Raising taxes risks our ability to attract and retain businesses and residents. We need them to come here to both pay taxes and to create jobs.
Thank you so much, Andrew, for coming on this Sunday morning and telling the people the truth. And we should continue with these conversations. And God bless you, and God bless the Citizens Budget Commission, a nonpartisan body. And just tell our citizens the truth, and that's it.
Thank you very much for the opportunity.
Thank you.
Listen to this podcast now on the Red Apple Podcast Network. The Leadership Thread with Dr. Peggy Polonis.
I'm Dr. Peggy Polonis. Join me on each episode where I unravel the story that shaped leaders, tracing the thread that led them where they are today. Because leadership isn't born in adulthood. And thank you once again for joining us on the Leadership Thread: education, ethics, and sustainability.
Download all of Red Apple Media's podcasts right now through your favorite podcast platform.